So hi all, welcome to yet another live session conducted by THiNC Institute of Design. So today we have a session of CAT which will be related to drawing. One of our faculty, Shantanu sir, is there with us today. So if you have queries, any queries or doubt, you can just clarify in this live. Yesterday we had a session on language. One of our faculty, main faculty, Arjun sir, has put the topic. You can just view that recordings in our YouTube channel itself. If you are liking this video, please don't forget to subscribe also. So before starting this session, I like to remind that host, can you please switch the screen? Okay, thank you, host. So today we will be having one more quiz, which will be related to Nift entrance exam. So it will be conducted at 9:30 p.m. Please do participate in that also, since the question will be the topics will be related to Nift entrance exam. So it will be easier for you to attend the Nift main and Nift entrance exam at the same time. Okay, it will be one great experience for you. So thank you. So today's the questions will be, the first question will be this, and the second question will be you can just see it in the screen. Okay, the third question. Okay, two questions are there, sorry. So I also want to repeat that today 9:30 p.m. there will be a Kahoot quiz competition. Quiz name is Curiosity, and it will be a final Nift mock quiz. So it will be at 9:30 p.m. So the prize money will be also there for top 3 entries. Sorry, top 3 participants. So before starting, so let's start, right? Okay, so am I audible for you, Shantanu sir?
Hello, hi. Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. Shall we start?
Yes, we can start the session.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Hello, good evening, everyone. Hi. I hope I'm audible properly. And we're gonna have a quick feedback session about questions that you have, already resolved, and we'll specifically speak about few of the things are probably the way you should work on these particular questions. And also, if you have any doubts regarding any particular topic related to your CAD part, we can definitely try to work on that and resolve it. Okay, so I'm quickly going to share my screen with you, and we have also received some of few responses over this particular questions that you have tried to answer. So we will also give a feedback on that, and we will try to also work on like we will try to create a proper solution for this, and probably various ways that you can solve that question. Fine. So okay, let's I'll just share my screen with you. Hope my screen is visible to you. Is this visible, guys? I hope it is. Okay. I'll recover a few of the questions that have been asked over here. So the question was asked was, draw the step-by-step process of connecting an LPG gas cylinder with a gas stove in 4 frames, or make a sweet home for your pet. Okay, so there are 2 different questions in this one. So we'll just work on with the process for connecting an LPG gas cylinder with a gas stove in 4 frames. Okay, so basically a sequential drawing. Let's I will try to fetch some of the drawings that people have uh, 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 sent us. We will try to and give you a feedback over that. I'll just get rid of this video panel, just a second. Okay. Just a moment, guys. So it is sent by the student Nandan Rajkumar. Nandana. Sorry. Anyways, and we'll try to resolve this question and the way you have sent it to us. Okay, so yes, so this is the question that we're gonna discuss about first, like connecting an LPG gas cylinder and gas stove in 4 different frames. It's a very interesting approach, probably the way you have done it in like close-ups and the things and this. So step-by-step process of connecting an LPG gas cylinder with a gas stove in 4 frames. Fine. So so first of all, this one, this the drawings that you have created are very interesting. So probably like the way you have composed, right, like this, probably there can be a additional frame as well. Okay, so just see how it is gonna work. Just a second. So basically it would give a buffer, then place your drawings at the centers maybe. And if you are opting for a particular view, right, or probably just try to keep the similar consistency of the views. Now suddenly this is going a top view, so probably who is not been able to like you have drawn this, but yeah, probably because it is not understanding that it is a cylinder over here, so this information might be misleading for someone. Okay, now suddenly you have drawn it and probably some of the information is bit incomplete. Okay, so have that visual consistency for the questions that you have been answering, or the sketches. Okay, so here it has been acquiring the entire frame. Here it is probably, even if you can, if you show that the outer rim of the cylinder, maybe this one over here, it would be more suitable. Okay, so practice a bit of yeah, sketching. It's no need of any perspective, it can be simple line drawing. You can get into the elevations also. I'll just I'll try to show you over here. Anyway, we'll draw it. I will try to opt multiple kind of views for this. Okay, so this is something like a cylinder. If you find this very difficult, anyway, I'll make it easy for you. And there you go, you can actually put this over here. Okay, so this is very nice that you have gone such a close up. Okay, this is very interesting. Probably you could have opted that same thing over here, like and maybe the same view, like you could have just answered it, lift that knob, or this one. So actually that one is missing here, it is generally over here, right? So basically you lift it, and that is how the locking arrangement goes, and then it inserts. Okay, so just observe this particular mechanism once really properly, like probably in your kitchen itself. uh, just experience this and do it. Second thing is over here. Okay, so like probably here your sketching consistency was very interesting and very nice. Probably get get the line drawings very proper. Now see that this two lines that you have drawn, they are missing over here, right? So that this all of things, they causes the visual inconsistency, and the drawing that you're trying to create, it is not read properly, and this is getting too thinner. Okay, so be consistent with the proportions and thing. If you are finding it very difficult, okay, so just do this, like like draw two lines. I'm really sorry. Okay, just draw two lines, like something like this, and then join this. Okay, same thing you can join, just draw a circle maybe over here. You will understand what I'm trying to say. So get into the proper method of drawing this. Anyway, like while we are drawing this question, probably we'll do it, but it's an interesting way to like don't go in too many of the views. Okay, rather just be simple about this one. What else you can do, like probably you can make use of interesting arrows, as in so like this. You can also show bit of like a circle marked radius, and you can actually show that it is what you are speaking about. Now I don't know what like somebody who's looking at this for the first, nobody would understand what is a connector, okay, or what is a regulator. So this is called a regulator, or modifier, whatever you call it. So rather than a connector, get into the proper nomenclature of it. Also use interesting arrows, that way you can actually peel this off. Okay, you can just show like this. Okay, hold it. So probably rather than like this, probably you can go also show a little bit of close up over here, or probably just go like what it would be seen as a cylinder probably, and draw this little bigger and show that peel off. Okay, so that is a way you can actually work on this. Complete your sketches. Okay, so even if you are opting for like such kind of a style, don't leave it abruptly like this. Okay, just try to finish it, like at least give some closure, and so that one understand it is a cylinder. Fine. So please observe that and do it. Like, see, there is a visual inconsistency a bit over here again. Yeah, so this looks different than this. So it shouldn't change. It shouldn't change a lot from like what it is. So I would suggest you like get into and what it requires for a good uh, sequential drawing is, you have it is the line quality of things is very important, because we can't sketch in shade, because it's where it is gonna go. It's probably might be a very small area where you get a chance to you know put your work. So this line quality has to be very proper. Okay, so like you don't get time, like get a proper circle. Okay, so even if it is bit scribbly, it's fine, but yeah, get into proper, get into dimension. Now you know get the line drawing quality like properly. So that is very important. So work on your line quality, I would say. Make use of interesting arrows. See, sequential drawing is all about planning. How do you plan things? How do you show things? Okay, so what is happening over here? If this particular thing is going to happen, this shows your lack of planning. Okay, so basically if it is in front, okay, so you won't be able to see this line. Fine. So please work on visualize. First of all, what you simply do is like make a simple sketch. Okay, and then you do it. In sequential drawing is specifically not at all required for you to get into uh, like a lot of perspective and thing. It can be very plain, very illustrative, front to front drawings. It's fine. You can get into very interesting kind of a line qualities that we will definitely discuss later on. Okay, so I think this is it. If you have any particular questions about it, you can definitely drop it in the chat box. I will discuss about another question, the another solution, whoever has sent it. Just give me a second. I will pull that question over here. Your response to this particular question. I will get that. Just a moment. Yes. Okay, so I don't know whose response is to this, but I would simply suggest like one solution is draw bigger, probably or probably also please, when you send your work, right, let it be more representable. Okay, so probably not like this. So I'm not trying to understand what is this basically. Okay, what is this? Why are you complicating this particular idea unnecessarily? I understand it is something like a key or something, I don't know, but probably the main focus is this process, because you are trying to tell, you're teaching somebody who doesn't know this. And probably like by such drawing, if this particular information is left misunderstood, there is a probably it is not good, right? So it has to be draw bigger. So at least it should be this bigger. We want to just show this part. Okay, like because we want to understand like how to connect this to this, and how do we use this. Okay, so it has to be properly done. So please draw bigger, not able to understand, at all, like what is this, like just connect, and probably, one would understand, yes, definitely this has to go somewhere over here, but how do we use this? How do we actually connect it over here? So there are a lot of people, might not be able to get this information or read it visually. Okay. Also use, like I have already said, make use of arrows, and, make use of interesting text patterns if it is needed. Okay. Not a lot of text, but yes, just simple one, so that would actually help us understand better. So probably I'm not able to understand why this. Okay, so you didn't need to. So first of all, get this one thing correct, do not provide unnecessary information. Okay, do not provide at all. I mean, it's not at all necessary, right? So you don't need to do that. If you you want to take a measure over like presentation, there are a lot of other things that you have to take care of. Okay, and you can work on presenting those very properly. Second thing is, when you're drawing this, okay, like this is fine, like you opted for one same view, where a person who's looking at it uh, probably will be able to have that connection with your the thought process, or the idea that you are trying to explain, but probably it has gone so small that one is not able to understand. Fine. So rather than we would go the entire cylinder also might is not used, like probably even just showing the top of this, and just some part of cylinder, or maybe just half of this, people will still understand it's a cylinder. We don't have to like draw so much of it. Rather, so this would give us opportunity to enlarge this probably, and use the maximum space of the frame. Okay, get it? So that is why draw bigger, so that one understands it very properly. I'll see if there is I hope you understand. Like I will look for a more responses if there are any done in this for this particular question. Just a second. Okay, I think we only had only this many responses to this. Just a second. Um Okay, so I'll try to provide you a solution for this one. Sorry. Okay. So now how do we get into this one? Okay, so we can work on the various responses. So probably ideology is like when you're working on sequential drawing. Okay, now it can be simply in a row. Okay, just understand. So probably there are 4 different visuals: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so how you can represent that idea? So I'm just speaking about it. Okay, so representing your ideas interesting. Fine. So it can be like first, second, third, fourth. Now why this is because it becomes very easy to read it this way. Okay, so one after this 2, 3, 4. Okay, so without even numbering this, one can totally understand this is the flow of the process. Okay, so this is how, this is the first step, this is the second, third, fourth. This is how they would understand. If not this, off for this one. Okay, so probably there are 2 frames here, and what I would do is like maybe even if we are doing this. Okay, so we just keep it bit a break maybe from this, little bit of. Okay, so fine. So this is the first, number it properly. Then if you're not there, like at least number over here. Okay, wherever you find it like suitable, it is also okay. So this particular option is also fine, is because we tend to read the visuals like this. Okay, we read it like this, but do not mess this up by 1, 2, 4, and 3, or don't do it 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this and this is very difficult to do. The natural thing is we go it like this, because we start reading like this, right? So we have habitual to read it like this. Then okay, if there is a next line, we go down and read like this. So basically whenever you are composing things, it is fine to be this way. Okay, So that is also one thing you can, really get into. Next thing is, if you are you want to create a compose, probably, what you can just simply opt for is, maybe, if there is a particular process that needs a bigger space, or probably, you can get into something interesting like this also. Okay, and probably, you know give it proper numbering, 1 2 3 4, totally your call. I mean, but nothing beats this. Okay, simple. Okay, and even if this, still, even this one can have a separate space for each, so that, one is easily able to understand these are different frames, and these are different processes, and it is not just one. Second is, do not, right now this process was particularly very simple. Connecting a gas cylinder, maybe it's a very easy task to do it, and it was possible to do it in 4 different frames. But there are sometimes, complicated ones which are not able to. Sometimes you have to manage and plan probably these 2 steps in just one. Okay, in that case, in such a complicated case, how do you handle that particular idea to promote, or probably to visualize and illustrate it? It is what makes you will make your job more challenging. Now let's just try to draw the response, like probably for this particular question that we have been trying to work on. Okay, so first thing is like creating, how do you create a good illustration? Okay, I will just speak on that particular part first, because all of you already, you know how to work on this one. Rather, I would show you like how a good representative of this particular thing can be done. Okay, so probably this is what a cylinder, like probably I would draw another ellipse over here. Okay, so just to create a interesting visual. Okay, simple. So probably, this is how you create a proper ream for that top part of the cylinder. Okay, don't draw it like this. Please don't create cylinders like this. Cylinder is created something, so this is like a closer to eye level. If this is slightly with a, this will be a more surface area for this than this. Okay, because it is more down, like you go, it would be seen like this. And then, sorry, and then you connect it. So this is how that, and this is how you create ellipse basically. Okay, or cylinder. Sorry, not like this. And this first, let's just create jointless. Yeah, and this is a proper way to create whatever it is, rim or things, that whatever that you are willing to create, please do create it very properly. Okay, so that one is able to understand what you are trying to do. Second is, like when you are, dealing with this particular solution. Oh, sorry. Fine. I just want to reduce the size of this. So fine. So now what is the next thing that we want to do is, like, even if you are creating illustration, what I would suggest you is, like, get with a basic job. Okay, first of all, get this done. Okay, why is because now drawing chamfer, like, getting this symmetry by this way, it's very difficult. So rather just create this first. Okay, because now your job is going to get very simple. Okay, you just have to do this, like whatever is, how far is over here, so that creating chamfer with freehand becomes much more easier. Okay, so this is why I want to get into this. Fine, this is still a side view. I don't want to get into an exact side view. Like, I want to create a bit of illustrative, or bit of perspectival or 3D-ish drawing for this. So I would just create this. very rough and generic drawing, but yeah, this will give us the proper, the idea, to start drawing it. You just have to do it once, understand the entire process. Probably this is what the, I'm not drawing it very to the very proportion, I'm just trying to explain you the process of how you should draw it so that it looks proper. Okay, now this is where, this particular part will join in. Now this is not straight, this is also curved, this is cylindrical, you see. Now if I want to draw it here, it is slightly off. Okay, though another one is maybe over here, like behind this, which goes and connects over here. Now I'm drawing it digitally, and that is why it makes me my job easier for that. But yeah, like when you're drawing with pencil, you need to manage this, manage all of this. Okay, so like drawing this line, or don't, like which lines while drawing we should avoid. So but yeah, definitely it will come up with more and more sketching. Fine. So I don't want to get into a lot of different shape or different excessive extra parts of the cylinder. I just want to go over here. Okay, so probably now this one that we wanted to work with. Okay, and this is something that, well, this is how the nozzle for this is. I'm just trying to create with a very basic shapes. Okay, so this is what you want to, like probably there is this particular thread, or this is how it is connected. So I would try to show that. If not that, like probably you can go and show it a little bigger over here. Okay, if there is a space to provide, whatever the way you want to. So basically this is like a metal cap. You need to observe this. Even I don't remember it exactly now, but yeah, this is something somewhat, it's like this. And then we want to pull this and take this off. Okay, it's something like this. Now what we have to do is we have to peel this off. So like probably make it larger. Drawing it larger would actually make it understand. So now what do we have to do is like we have to peel this in direction. So rather than getting into hand and thing, like I would draw a arrow. Okay. Like this is to pull. Maybe, yeah, pull in this direction. This is what my first frame is going to be. Get it? So this is what it is gonna look like. Now second frame would be kind of different, slightly different, right? I would also draw a proper number with, first of all, with the proper drawing. Now then what I want to like show, probably we want to take it over here. Okay, so rather this time like even if I don't want to draw this like in perspective, well, I would try to take this section over here maybe, or just showing this in 3D also, so that is also fine. But yeah, so probably if it is getting difficult, really difficult, I would just draw this, probably just simple. I would just try to show the section of it, like so now what is section is? Section is basically where you cut it. Okay, so first of all, we get that correct, whatever that subject is we want to discuss. It can be simple. First of all, I'm gonna create a basic shape for this. Okay, so this is the lid probably of that regulator. So this is what it generally looks like. So I'm just gonna draw it in a very simple way. See, so then there is this cap probably which is movable. Okay, so this moves, fine. And then if not over here, it is slightly below that Get it? It's a off or on, whatever. So what I'm going to do is, fine. So this can be bigger. I'm just trying to show you like what all ways it can, work maybe. This is not at all important, but I just going to show that. Now probably this is showing some details, some structure, texture of it. So this is how it is gonna help us. Okay. So first of all, you don't need to make it very complicated for a sequential drawing. It can be simple. So at the end, see right now, it is not the ability of us drawing in like perspective and thing. Rather here is more important how much you are able to make it easier, okay, or make this information easier for it to pass on very clearly. And it is very important if that person who's looking at it is understanding this process. Okay, so this is like an infographic information. So it is, you should be able to provide it with more ease. Okay, so probably this is the back of the cylinder. Probably, yeah, let's draw it on both the side, same with same intensity of line and things. Okay, so this is how you should be able to provide this information. Now again, it is a side view, so probably it will not be seen like this. Okay, no, even if you show not nothing in 3 dimension, it's still fine, or probably just a 2D would also do. So right now, because this one has the importance of this particular line and quality has more importance, so that one understands it properly. Okay, so this is how you can get things done. Okay, so now if you want to use specific arrows over here, okay, so this is how you are supposed to do it. Okay, so this one also, if there is arrow, don't have this, like probably not important, like blocking the only information what is needed. So first of all, target is to explain this working of this particular regulator to guys, right, to people. So we would speak about that. And maybe, yeah, the pipe can come back like from the bottom too. Okay, like from here maybe. Get it? So this is, and write only minimalistic text. Okay, probably watch whatever it is necessary. Lift and push. Okay, lift and push. Probably this is and then release it. Whatever. Push and release. Whatever that comes to your mind. That is what you should do. Next step would be like, I'm just trying to draw various drawing methods so that you can opt anyone and use it for your final drawing method. Okay, now somebody wants to like, somebody had asked a question like probably drawing a little bit of perspective to this. So I'm just gonna draw a little bit of few things in perspective. Okay, so let's just draw that regulator only. Okay, so I'm just gonna work on. See, creating the information for us to draw and creating the structure for it, it is very important. Nothing can be like drawn, you know, exactly the similar way that you're, you know, you have to create a bit of, structure and the texture of this one particularly for yourself. So then only you would understand, the details. You would be able to plan it, and so this is that lower disk which you're supposed to lift maybe. Okay, we can refine this, come back and refine this later on. So first of all, that, drafting the idea is very important. Okay, and probably that bottom part, like hardly any scene. Okay, now probably this is how the cylinder showing contour lines is also another method that you can get closer to the information. Now I'm not erasing or any construction line. I'm just drawing with darker on top of that. Okay, so that is also, you know don't get too scribbly. Just define line with do. Get it? So this is how you can get into even complex drawings, complex way, and just write down like whatever the arrow. Now you want to say push, so I would use, like, since we have drawn everything in 3D, I'm gonna use, not necessary, but probably it looks nice. Yeah. Drawing that arrow also 3D, so it's like probably more, you know yep. So this is how you can draw and make the drawings in probably properly in 3 dimension. Fine. So work on this, like create a proper sequence, and then you share the information, like how to on it, like probably even you're trying to tell people how to turn the switch on, maybe, so probably just draw it, probably from this one. So I would draw this lighter, okay, just to understand what is the position, and this I would obviously be drawing darker, and probably this is how it is gonna leave some shadow, probably, like I would make this side little darker, just trying to show like quick you know 20 30 70 or 20 80 kind of a sketching method. So where we're just focusing on the part that is required to be in the focus. Okay, and then we just like hold. So we'll just start an arrow from here, and we would just say till it has been moved. And I will just say rotate to your left or whatever. Make it vertical from horizontal, or from vertical to make it horizontal. Okay, rotate to. Yeah. So there are various information that you can, and definitely it has to be on a and follow one particular style. If you are doing it in this style, just use this. If you're doing it in this style, opt a similar visual style for all of your illustrations. All of that 4 5 set of 6, whatever that you have, opt the same kind of a style for all of it. Okay, so this is how we can draw this particular question. Now, I think let's move on to the next question. That is, yep. Let's just work on the next one. Now, that is, I think, the dog cage or a pet cage that you had to. Fine. So now, draw the make a sweet home for your pet. Okay. So now that is a very subjective idea. Okay. So sweet home, okay, like probably now rather than just I will definitely get into the feedback, but yeah, probably some people might like drawing cage is not something like a sweet home. Okay, it might be for you, but it is definitely not for that dog, right? So one has to understand the psychology of the moment you say sweet. So probably it has to be more warmer and cozier, you know, or probably it has to be more simple than, not so complicated as cage. That idea for that animal also is very important. Or probably you can create, like maybe something like a pillow, or maybe even this house. But yeah, probably, like, it is something very nice, like probably has some interesting elements to this, probably like there are some whatever. With the way, basically you have to make it more personal, you have to make it more cozier, warmer, seeing how one is liking it. So that kind of things, it can be, probably more soft, cushiony, or probably, it is something that a pet would enjoy. So you would have to create that. Okay, so this is what we can call a sweet home. And we need to understand that creating a different space is probably not, it's not what dog would like. So they would like to stay with you probably. And you know definitely, also I think they have not mentioned the name of the pet, right? Make, it can be anything, it can be hamster also. So it totally depends on like what kind of a pet that you are getting into. So I'll just suggest a few drawings, like maybe, maybe something, making it more easier and fun. So here is something, they like to generally sleep uh, on a, sorry. Okay. So they would like to sleep on something, slightly above something and beneath something. Okay. So this is what they generally feel is very cozier and warmer. So what we would try to create is like, even a space like where it just provides a shelter, maybe something like this. I'll just draw it in 3D. I think that would work. Probably this is my idea by looking at, your drawings. Like some of you have shared, maybe. Okay. Now the customization is here is not for actually the dog, it is for the dog's owner. So probably it's because that this thing is gonna also make, you know your space probably gonna look, good. So this is something that, like, come from the solution to maybe something like this. Okay, same thing is gonna happen over here. Fine. So this is what, and probably this is entirely like, maybe cushions, and probably, so there is an opening on this side also. Okay, so there is very comfortable pillow over here, and this is open. Okay, so it doesn't have the feeling of that small dark kind of a cage house, but yeah, more dog house or cage house, whatever you call it. Neither it is, so it is like a free will kind of thing. Whenever they would want to go sit over here, so they can go and they can sleep over here. Now what kind of a detailing that one can expect from this one? Okay, so we'll just speak on that. Yeah, maybe something like this. Okay, I'll just reduce the size of this, and I can show you, like how much details that no one can get into. I'll just draw it a little smaller now. Okay, so I'll draw this little lighter only, and because so that it gives me a chance to probably work on the details of it. So this is how like I would get into like detailing of this. If there are double lines, don't forget to join the lines and things properly. So this is something like bit organic, so it's okay even if you don't want to get into like so much organic. Like probably we would get into like this, and then later on you can just chamfer this. See this one, so it becomes easy. So how I'm trying to draw it, like basically see, like even if circle, okay, so I can draw a circle like this, just understand. Okay, there's a lot of like a polyline or polygonal structure, so it is something like this. So rather than then later on creating a circular shape or elliptical shape on this one, it becomes more easier, is because now we just have to smoothen it out, and this is how I can draw a circle. Okay, the same thing, that logic I'm gonna implement. So what I generally tend to do is, like, if there is a circle, right, and if I don't know how to, like, big circle, so what I generally do is I'll draw a lot of tangents to it. Okay, see, and then drawing a passing circle through inside that whatever, okay, shape, it becomes more easier. Okay, so same thing that we are going to draw over here. Not necessary even if you do it like a proper circle, it's totally okay. And so this is how, like, probably you can add more interesting and probably details to this particular thing. So there is some open space to this, maybe just add, maybe here we can add some more details that are required. Now you're designing a space, but nobody has drawn a page over there. So that is something that one needs to understand, to obviously to show the scale of uh, animal that you're thinking of. So because it has to, like, the scale is for like a particular specific, so you have to draw that, like, for until unless you do it, like, nobody can understand the scale of that particular thing that you have been designing. Okay, so to understand the scale, drawing something that that will speak about the scale of that is very important. And no, I mean, nothing with more details, but yeah, just simple gesture to it would also. Right. So probably this is like a perfect scale for this guy. So that is what is, you need to incorporate that, understand, and deal with it. There is a pillow over here, so just gonna draw that. Okay, so like probably with so much of details, because it's a design based question, right? It's a thematic design, and you're expected with your design intervention skills, or your innovative thoughts, or not even innovative, but maybe to check your possibilities still where like your observation or understanding levels are. Okay, and on the basis of that, which you are going to judge the situation, and you would be providing your solution, so that all of those things are dependent on each other. Fine. So this is how it can be drawn, done. Some reflections of it on. Get it? So this is how you can draw things with, you know with create we can you'll be able to create more interest when in things when you're drawing them. Okay. If there is any particular question, guys, please go ahead, please ask. You can drop it in chat box. Please feel free to ask any question. So yeah, today's topic is something related to design, and we would love to give you feedback in the same direction. Let me know if you are able to understand what I'm trying to say and draw over here. And the whole idea is attempt all the question twice, like as a for practice, not exactly in exams, but do opt like one question, probably like see how the way I'm drawing this question, you can get into another question, like same question, try to solve it twice, thrice. So obviously your design inputs, like your visualization, is gonna help you to solve this question in a better way. Okay, so please do that. Fine. So yeah, so this is how my solution would be. Now I'll just try to speak about some of like probably a bit smaller feedbacks for you guys about. I'll just pull in some of your responses. Okay. Just a second. Just a moment. Okay. Give me a second. I'll just pull few questions for you. Okay. Okay, somebody has sent this response. Okay. So let's speak about this one quickly. I think it's the same thing that we have already spoken about. You know how nicely you do this, but still it's a cage. Okay, it's not a pretty house, or it's not a comfortable house for this one. Probably at least you customize it to a certain extent, make it look good or make it more comfortable. So then So I hope you have understood. Like with what kind of a intensity you will be able to and solve this question. Okay, we have done so many things and we have tried to understand. So please work on this. Also try to, whatever that you are drawing, is try to show the scale of the user, whatever, or probably at least like with a human proportions, so that one understands the scale of what you are trying to you know have created, or you are drawing. So please work on your uh, communication skills with the product in terms of scale and proportion to the figurative drawings. There is someone else has drawn the same thing. I will just try to pull that also. It's a interesting you know kind of thing that they've tried to deal with. Okay. So I think this is a very interesting approach somebody has tried to work on with. So very interesting kind of a concept. So I would just say it is very nice and interesting approach. Probably just get on with the proper drawing. Like how it is. Like probably inside it would be little darker, right? So probably just try to show if it is more breathable. So try to put some you know air holes in this one so that it is more breathable. Okay, getting it? So probably with such things, and the mattress, maybe you're trying to show uh, few things in perspective of, if you see over here, a few things are in perspective or in 3D, and the main thing you're not. So it doesn't suit that way. Okay, the same thing probably, like you see, it would be something like this. Probably this would be the you know but yeah, obviously rethink about some of the like probably there can be a paw, and maybe that is what is the way the light, or it is breathable. Get it? So it's an interesting way. Get into the proper line drawing. Okay, so see, is like when you are drawing this, like be proper with this one. Like even if you are creating just the front face, I just draw it very smaller over here. Even if you are trying to draw one side of it, maybe just like isometric view, maybe. Yeah, but just off the same thing for all of it. I see. Get it? So whatever it is, like bowl, I think whatever that you wish to keep, or even this, not necessary that it has to be space. Like probably there is more blanket, or like probably cushion area, so probably they can use this space also to first sit, and maybe there is something, like probably extender or kind of a drawer, if that has been pulled out, so probably you get that bowl and things out of this one. Fine. So I think this is what will leave you to good set of drawings. We'll try to draw things properly. So that would be my suggestion on this one. Let's move on to the next question. I think that is related to your, okay, so it's our next question that I would try to pull in. Let's just read this. Okay. Taking inspiration from Jamini Roy's famous painting, Christ with an angel, uh, you know, design any products. That is a handbag, reusable mask, and hat. Okay, so let's just try to work with this particular design. Now, if you just go closer and see what kind of a detailing is, it's done. It's probably very ethnic and traditional kind of a patterns, but yeah. So probably the whole context has been changed. Okay, now it speaks about very different concept over here. We can take the philosophy, or we can take the visual references from this. So I think people have done quite a fair job with this particular question. I will try to bring in few more questions, like your responses. Just give me a second. Yep. I hope this is visible to you. It's a very interesting approach. Some, like whoever has taken this one, it's kind of an interesting things to see. And uh, yeah, sorry. So it's just a few things that can be taken care of. Probably maybe this is like looking very flimsy. Okay, so this is kind of looking very flimsy. Okay, so that can be like, probably you can take a little bit of inspiration from this one itself. Probably like how this are, probably this can be the like probably the strap for this particular bands too. For example, like if I want to draw it something like this, maybe whatever that they have shown it over here, like something like this particular kind of a texture or structure. Or maybe it can be like, or probably mix of metal and leather, or fabric or leather, like brass and thing. Okay, so it is just, this becomes more flexible. Okay, so another one can come from the other side of it, maybe something like this. Okay, so this one over here. So obviously the bag has to be something like this shape. Okay, I'm just trying to draw it in perspective. Now probably here. Okay, so everything looks more rectangulish, like you see, like there are very interesting patterns, with which, like probably this one also, this is a very interesting pattern, like if you see. So like I can actually design something like a brass loop with that particular. Okay, and probably that guy itself, like probably I can use the same one over here. Okay. Just, and this entire belt probably comes from this. It goes whatever. Okay, whatever that design and things. Okay, so this can be resolved like probably with an interesting feature. I really like the idea that you took some inverted and but the whole idea of Christ and uh, with angel, probably this particular few of the things, the concept part of it, it is what is missing. So I think like you can opt with more elements from that. So probably it would be more suitable. So and I have really liked the way you have used more and more of elements from this one, and how you have done. So probably like there are very interesting features if you go and look into. But yeah, so you have to work on this particular part. Okay. So where it designed like flimsy, how you can also not necessary you have to use everything from the same inference. You can basically can work on, you can add your things to it also. Okay, so this is what how you can basically work on it. So it looks like very Indian traditional patterns and things which you can actually implement over here. Okay, fine. So I'll pull another drawing and try to give you a review about it. Yep. Now it is really nice that you have abstracted some of the things from this one, but yeah, probably it has gone too different from this one. So probably if you could have if you would have been able to incorporate few elements like which we have, like if you see there are very common ones like simple rectangles and things which you have used as a major shapes. But yeah, probably like within inside frame to frame, like something like this, you could have incorporated more and more details of it. It would have felt very interesting to see like something like this. Okay, or maybe if you see then the characters, like probably eyes are very prominent. Okay, so I'm just trying to show what else probably can be done in that area. Fine. So maybe like you nobody has probably drawn few characters from it. I'm just roughly drawing it. Okay, uh, whatever, I mean, simply this can maybe these are also interesting ways you can create tessellation patterns you know and probably use this itself as more of a, I'll just try to work on this one. You see, like maybe this is the pattern that you see it in eyes, or whatever. And then I would like try to incorporate, there's a lot of things. This is a very crude and rough one. Okay, so please, but I'm just trying to show you like what all possible ways that you can, or directions that you can give yourself opportunity to work in. Okay. So maybe like this is the one. You can actually like repeat this. You see, with the repetition of this, you can actually create some interesting patterns or designs, or simply you can just, like, we still use more and more elements. So now we have created, one particular composition from this particular pattern. Okay. Whatever that. Okay, just get into the proper proportions of it, you might be able to, get interesting patterns out of it. Okay, we'll just try to draw. Fine. So the same thing, like probably you have used, you just, maybe this is how we would be able to probably create some interesting patterns and, get along with this. Maybe this is how, you can create a belt, or, a stripes, or, composition with this one. So there are many ways actually, we can work on this particular concept, or, the same thing, like for the mask also you can use it. It just, like, first of all, the whole idea is to create, rather than just directly putting it on, like any particular surface, whether it is a, either it is maybe a, like if it is a handbag, if it is a handbag, or it is a, if it is a handbag, so, just probably even minimalism can, like probably just this goes to this particular, this particular place over here. Okay, so it is totally your call, like this goes over here, and, just see how does it look. Okay, so it's nothing, just a second. Yeah, maybe this is how it goes on a bag. Yeah, we just, don't have to, like, we don't have to complicate the ideas always. Probably it can be just simply this, or, even if it is a face mask, or probably the whole, later on, like how do we show this particular, is that we have to show that idea of it, like how does it gonna. So where does this, design go, maybe, so that is the whole idea, or it is just on a one side, so that it should complement with all of basic figure, or basic attire of. So this is how we would use that element as, sorry. Yeah. So whether it is like, or probably you can like draw, if you have to design both, like I would show later on with, just a second, let's keep this pattern that we have designed over here. So and maybe rest is like, we can actually design that handbag also, and we can show that integration of two different products together. Okay, get it. So yeah, this is how probably we can resolve this question with uh, by creating more interest and more or better understanding of whatever the theme, or that is mentioned in the question. Okay, so look into all the details of it. First of all, observe the artwork or whatever that that has given to you. Observe it properly and then get into the questions. Okay. Fine. So I think I'll stop drawing now, and I'll ask you if you have any questions, or if you have any particular doubts about things. You can take. I'll take this time to take your questions now. Go ahead, guys. Okay. Yes, I think we can. If you have any questions, we still have 5-10 more minutes. If you have questions, you guys can definitely ask, or else we can uh, call it off and stop here. Yes, you can outline your drawing. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely put an outline. Like outline can be interesting. Like probably if this is a design, maybe like what I would do is like I just keep everything thinner inside. Okay, I would just get into a thicker outline, maybe something like this. Okay, so that puts emphasis on whatever that I'm gonna draw inside. So this gives us a closure, also creates a very interesting thing, and the vision stays inside. So this can also be done. Like you can definitely draw thicker borders and outline your artwork. Definitely no issue with that. Is there anything else? Okay, fine. I think host, we can, there are no questions for this. So I think we can stop over here.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for this beautiful session. So, students, I hope you all have cleared all your doubts. So, I like to remind one more thing about the curiosity that today at 9:30 p.m. there, so I think one question has been come right now. Can you please check that out also?
Okay, so but by outline, the drawing will not look realistic. Uh, See, basically, it's not necessary. It doesn't mean that. What if the artwork itself is, with a thicker lines, right? So it is not really concerned that whether it will look realistic because of the outline. Not necessary. So this is outlined right now. Okay, so this is outlined right now. It's not something related to that, but yeah, definitely now it can't be like this thick and like artwork inside. Yeah, obviously it would look unrealistic. So maintaining the proportion would uh, that is important. I think I hope I able to answer your question. So it's related to uh, how do you manage those proportions in the drawing? I hope I answer your question. Somebody has shared the drawing recently. I don't have it, but like once I download that, I'll definitely give you my review. I'll just send it. Probably you can read it. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Any questions? Okay, most welcome.
Okay, sir. Students, if you have any queries, you can just reply it now, or else you can just comment in chat. Sorry, in comment box. We will be happy to help you out. So I think let's wind up, sir.
Yeah.
So before that, I'd like to remind you one more thing about this curiosity that today at 9:30 p.m. there will be a quiz competition and the topic will be Nift based topic. So it will be our last mock quiz. So kindly be a part of that. If you have any queries or doubts also, you can just message in the comment box. We'll be happy to help you. Anyway, the instruction will be given at the time when the curiosity just begins. So still you have any queries, you can just comment in the reply in the comment box. And tomorrow also we will be having a sessions like that at 2 p.m. So kindly be participate in that also. So I think let's wind up. So
Yes.
Thank you all for being in this beautiful session. I hope you all have enjoyed this session. If you are liking this video, please do subscribe also our YouTube channel. So thank you all. Have a
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me, and wish you all the best, guys, for your NIFT exam, and take care. Bye.